What is good, y'all? Let me just get my sound situated. What is poppin', everybody? Mikey T, the movie star here. We got a dope live podcast for y'all tonight. I have a dope live podcast, live stream for y'all tonight. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. We got to go in on a topic that I found very, very interesting, y'all. 50 Cent basically said he will never invest another dollar. He will never invest another minute in Lloyd Banks. And so now I get it, y'all. So now I finally get it, and that's why I wanted to come on live and talk about it tonight. One of my dudes actually sent me this message with this video. And now I finally get it. Make sure you hit that like button when you're tapping in. Make sure you hit that like button when you're tapping into this live stream tonight. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. We have a lot to talk about tonight, you guys. Hope everybody's been enjoying my new interviews. Herb McGruff, Kid, Rizzy, all different types of new interviews going out, you guys. Appreciate everybody coming in here for the live stream tonight. So, guys, 50 Cent said that he will never invest another dollar in Lloyd Banks. And I get it now. Now I see why 50 Cent calls Lloyd Banks Lazy Lloyd. You guys, I just got wind of something, and it's really incredibly idiotic. It's childish, and it's honestly, it's just an ignorant way of thinking. And I had to come on here tonight and cover this. Not because I feel like dissing Lloyd Banks. Shout out to everyone bumping the Cody albums. All of you Course of the Inevitable guys. By the way, that's a horrible name for an album. That's a horrible album title, just my opinion. Oh, but hold up, Mikey T. The Cody album is fire. He's got that Griselda sound now. All of you guys, take a chill pill. I'll explain myself because y'all are going to start doing the anti G Unit stuff. Listen, I'll explain. I'll explain myself. The idiotic shit Lloyd Banks told 50 Cent, I'm going to tell y'all what it was. And it was not SMD. This is not Tekashi 69. So if you thought the three dots in the title was SMD, I'll let you know so you can bounce. No, he didn't tell him that. It's basically even more dumb than that. So basically, I got wind of 50 Cent. Actually, someone sent it to me on the gram. It was a short little clip. So I played it on my phone, and it's 50 Cent talking. And who was 50 Cent talking about? He was talking about Lloyd Banks. So now before we get into anything that I have to say about this, I want you guys to hear what 50 Cent said to Lloyd Banks. I'm going to read it to you. I'm not going to interrupt. I'm going to read you exactly what 50 Cent said about Lloyd Banks. And I quote, this is from 50 Cent's mouth. I'll let you know when the quote is over. I'll say end quote. 50 Cent said the following out of his own mouth. Quote, I sat down with him just when IG was starting to pop off and tried to drop this gem on him. And when I'm saying him, this is 50 speaking to Banks. So when I sat down with him, 50 sitting down with Lloyd Banks, just to be clear to everybody watching, him is Lloyd Banks for clarity. 50 Cent said, quote, I sat down with him just when IG was starting to pop off and tried to drop this gem on him. You got to get on Instagram. You got to get on Instagram. You can be a little awkward in person. So this is actually a better way for you to communicate with people. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop right here, guys. I'm going to stop right here. By the way, there is more that 50 Cent said, and I'm going to get into the rest of what he said. But first, I want to touch on this. Everybody in the chat, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you let me know what city and state you're in. This is the first part. I'm going to stop right here, you guys. There's more of what 50 said. I'm going to get into the rest of what he said, but I want to touch on this because this is just my style. It's my format. This ain't no clickbait shit. I'm going to give you the rest of what 50 Cent said, but I do want to give my point of view. And I would like to hear all of y'all point of view as well in the chat with what 50 Cent is telling Banks. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You can even say, I'm from Brooklyn, Mikey T. I don't care. Because I know there's going to be a Brooklyn dude in here who's like, I don't care about this Queen shit. I'm from Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn. You know, if you're from Colorado, hell, if you're from Nevada, rep your hood. You know what I mean? But I want to hear what you got to say because this is some real shit. Salute to Staten Island. 50 is basically telling this man as a friend. Keyword, friend. Fuck a business associate. See, Lloyd Banks, here's what you need to understand. Before people jump on me like, yo, Mikey T, you're too hard on Banks, here's what I'm saying. 50 considered Banks a friend. He told him things a friend would. Things a friend would. You know what I mean? When I'm bugging, my friends tell me, Mikey T, you're bugging. You want to diss Smurf? No, don't diss Smurf. You're dead wrong. Smurf is a good dude. So when 50 says to Young Buck, actually, no, not Young Buck. I'm sorry. No, 50 didn't give this advice to Young Buck. Young Buck is not 50 Cent's friend. He is 50 Cent's business associate. Nothing more, nothing less. He doesn't give two shits about the guy. He's basically saying what I'm telling you, Banks, and you, Yayo. On the other hand, it's because he considers them friends. And we all know what 50 said about them. 50 said he would basically, if they would have dissed him like Young Buck, he would have taken it much more serious. Y'all know what 50 Cent said about what would happen if Banks and Yayo dissed him. I might cover it in an upcoming video. And I might actually address what 50 Cent said from his own mouth about what would happen if 50 Cent was dissed by Banks and Yayo, guys. So, question. Why do you guys think 50 Cent would be so outraged at Yayo and Banks if they did the same thing that Buck did? But you know what, guys? I really don't even need your answer. The answer is because it would hit different. He considers them friends, loyal, day ones. The same reason Sheik Luch is heartbroken. J Hood still has his name in his mouth after all he did was try to help you. He tried to help you at one point. He tried to help you, man. He looked at you as a friend at one point, and now he looks at you as someone who is disloyal, looking for clout. But you know what, man? We're off J Hood, though. Y'all can check out my exclusive interview with Rizzy. That's right. Y'all can check out my exclusive interview with Rizzy. It's out now. Y'all can check that shit out. Just wanted to tap in on this live tonight and speak with y'all about this whole situation with Banks and 50. My guy hit me in my inbox on the gram, sent me this video. Like I said, everybody that watches the content, you can really just hit me up at any point in time. Comment on the videos if you want to suggest, you know what I mean? If you want to suggest anything when it comes to actual content. Yep. My guy Foot 718, East Flatbush by Houston, Texas in the building. He said that Buck ain't nothing more, laughing my ass off. Ex G Unit member. Yeah, we all remember what happened with Young Buck when Young Buck basically started dissing G Unit at random shows. It was really off base because it was like, why is Buck dissing G Unit? You want to know why Buck was dissing G Unit, you guys? It was because he ran out of options. He ran out of shit that actually was making him have interest in the media. You know what I mean? It really honestly was he had nothing else going is for his career other than to diss 50 Cent. And that is the sad part of it, you guys. That is the absolute sad part of what happened with 50 Cent and Young Buck. It could have been avoided. Yep, salute the Jaffe. His new shit does go. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody in the chat telling me to keep going. You know I'm not going to stop this shit. You know I'm not going to stop this shit ever, man. I've been going for 12 years strong. I just did a bunch of new interviews. Herb McGruff interview is a movie. It did an interview with Rizzy from the Bronx. That's right, Fordham Road, actually. You know what I mean? I've been doing a whole lot of new content, you guys. I got an interview planned for tomorrow as well. You know, I'm just staying consistent when it comes to this shit. It's the only way to work, y'all. It's the only way to work. It's the way I've been doing shit my whole career. Buck's first album, yeah, Buck's first album was amazing. I actually liked the second album as well. The only problem with Buck the World was they couldn't find a single. And then the next problem with Young Buck was that he signed a G Unit again. You know, Young Buck actually signed a G Unit again, you guys, and he pretty much did a 2 album deal with 50 Cent. He did an album deal for G Unit, and then he did a solo album deal for the Young Buck album. And I think that was a really bad mistake on Young Buck's part. It's like, yo, sign back to 50 for the group album. Use that to get yourself buzzing. Everybody in here, hit that like button. Make sure you share this video. We're going over some real content tonight, you guys. We're talking about the loyalty, and I'm asking everybody the question, why do you think 50 Cent would be so outraged at Yayo and Banks if they did the same thing that Buck did? You know what I mean? Why do you guys think 50 would be so outraged at Banks and Buck if they were to do similar shit that Banks and Yayo, excuse me, if they were to do similar shit that Buck did? You know what, guys? I guess the reality is I don't even really need the answer. You know, I know the answer. The answer is that it would hit different, man. We all know that that shit hits different when it comes from a personal friend. You know what I mean? We all know that that shit hits different when it comes for a personal friend. And and it really honestly reminds me of J Hood and Sheik Luch. You know, Sheik Luch looked at J Hood as a friend at one point, and now he just looks at him as someone who is disloyal and looking for clout. But we're off J Hood. You know what I mean? Y'all can check out my interview with Rizzy. You know what I mean? People giving me backlash like Mikey T, you're interviewing J Hood's ops for all that. For everyone typing that shit, he wrote me KYS. I'm going to interview all of his ops now. I'm going to interview all of his ops, and if I just happen to interview somebody who has an issue with J Hood, I'm going to ask him about the issue with J Hood as well. I'm going to interview all of his ops. And if someone texts any of you KYS, you wouldn't take it easy on J Hood either. And you know what, J Hood? I saw your shit on Jordan Tower. So you mean to tell me you're messing with Jordan Tower, but you're not messing with me? That's cute. That's cute. But I seen the little bogus shit you did with Jordan Tower. My man sent it to me. You know, I don't actually watch Jordan Tower's shit. I'm surprised you didn't tell him KYS. What's the difference? Anyways, 50 Cent calling Banks awkward. That's the next part of this. 50 calling Banks awkward. He is awkward. The shy guy. He doesn't talk. He's not the loudest guy in the room. You probably wouldn't even know he was in the room. You know what I'm saying? Who's that guy in the corner? He's very quiet. You know what I mean? He's not going to walk up to you and network like 50 Cent does. 50's like, yo, what's good? I'm Curtis Jackson. I'm the president of G Unit Records. Lloyd Banks is not going to speak to people, period. He is shy. That right there is a character flaw. Oh, he is not shy, Mikey T. He is just introverted. Whoever's saying that, shut up. It means you're lacking social skills. It's not a good thing to be shy and introverted, aka 50 Cent calls it awkward. Yo, I bought 5 shorties. I brought 5 shorties and you're not even going to introduce yourself? That's awkward. No, it's not awkward. I'm just shy. That's bullshit, man. Yo, that's the president of Interscope Records. You're not going to introduce yourself? No, I'm not awkward. I'm just shy. Yo, that's fabulous. You're not going to introduce yourself? You're not going to introduce yourself to Fabulous? No, I'm just shy. I get it. You know what I mean? People that are shy in real life, guess where they're not shy? Guys, the people that are shy in real life, guess where they're not shy? No, not in the club. Not the club, you guys. People who are shy in real life are not shy where? Come on. Where? Someone help me out. You know, your brain cells can't be more fried than mine. I know I smoke more weed than y'all. Guys, let's answer this question. People who are not shy in real life are shy. People who are shy in real life are not shy where? No, not the strip club. Not the strip club. Guys, the answer is social media. People who are shy are not shy on social media because they are not dealing with you in real life. The computer is the barrier. They can be whoever they want to be. You know what I mean? They can have that false sense of confidence. 50 Cent viewed that as an asset for Banks. Like, yo, Banks, I get it. You're not talkative. You're shy, type awkward in real life. But online, there is this thing called Instagram. And you can project your confidence through an account and you can have an avatar profile picture. And everyone here knows what I'm talking about. You know the dime piece that you saw on Instagram and you met her in real life and she was a deuce. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? They project that confidence because they can hide behind filters. Well, females, that is. But it's the same reason guys talk a whole bunch of gang shit on Instagram. They can hide behind the computer. Everybody in here, share this video to one person right now, y'all. You're watching the realest blogger doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? The guys talk a whole bunch of gang shit on Instagram and they can hide behind the computer. A perfect example of that, Hassan Campbell. That was a joke. Actually, no, it wasn't. True story. 50 Cent is telling him, yo, I'm your friend. I think we all know that every friend is going to recognize their friend's flaws, and a real one will point it out. If that was 50's enemy, he would have never told him. He's shy. He's non assertive. He's not confident. Maybe he lacks self esteem. If that was an enemy, 50 would use it to his advantage. Now, 50 tried to help him. 50 tried to help him use a disadvantage as an advantage. Guys, 50 Cent studied the 48 laws of power, so he analyzes his friends the same way he analyzes his enemies, which is why it's such an easy observation for 50 Cent to make here. Now, let's get into Lloyd Banks' response to 50 Cent, who was literally trying to help him. You know what I mean? 50 is telling him, like, yo, here, I think you should do this. So 50 Cent went on. Banks said, nah, I don't want to do it. He said, why not? You can literally put punchlines under your pictures and make some new fans. Nah, that's corny, he told me, before adding, Big and Pac didn't do that shit. Okay. You hear what I'm saying, guys? Banks basically said 50 told him that, and he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. He said, nah, that's corny, before adding, Biggie and Pac didn't do that shit. Can you guys believe that shit? That's what we're about to go over. That's what we're about to go over right now. But here's the thing. Everybody share this video. Here's the thing. Listen, Lloyd Banks. Listen, Lloyd Banks, aka Lazy Lloyd. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break this to you, bro. Take a deep breath, Banks. Take a deep breath, Banks. I'm sorry to break this to you. You're not Biggie and you're not Pac, and you never will be. So now I respect it. I kind of see what Banks is trying to say. I kind of see it, but he sounds like a full-blown short bus school rider. You know what I'm saying? The short bus kids. He sounds like the special education type children. You know what I mean? Let me ask you guys. Do you think Tupac wouldn't have been on Instagram typing quotes with a picture of him throwing up the West Side? You know, the West Side hand symbol, Pac throw up. You know what I'm saying? You think Pac wouldn't have been posting pictures with like 18 million followers with a quote like, first off, F your bitch and the click you claim, West Side, when we ride, come equipped with game? You think he wouldn't have posted that on Instagram? Type 1 in the chat if you think he would have. Type 2 in the chat if you think, hell no, he would have never did that. You mean to tell me? Like, first of all, Instagram wasn't out. But if it was, you don't think he would have put up a picture with himself throwing up the W with a quote, first off, F you bitch? And you're probably right, though. You're probably right. Biggie would have been like, you're right. I'm not doing that. I'm fat. I'm overweight. I'm not posting pictures. But you want to know what the key thing is, you guys? Biggie has a 50 Cent in his corner. That's the key proponent with Biggie Smalls, with Pac. Biggie had a 50 Cent in his corner. What's his name? I think he's calling himself Love. He calls himself Love. He's got a bunch of different names. Diddy would have told Biggie, there's a thing called Instagram, and you have to be on it. Diddy would have told him, matter of fact, I just seen Tupac on it, and he was talking about F your bitch and the click you claim. Biggie, who cares? He would have told him some real shit like, Biggie, who cares if you're fat? Who cares if you're fat? Who cares if you're overweight? He would have told him, tag Coogee. We might get a deal. Tag? What do you mean tag? Don't worry about it. I'll do it for you, Big. I'll run the page. We might get a Coogee sponsorship. Versace might see you wearing the shades. Biggie would have listened. Biggie knew what Puff said would go. And Pac was not second guessing Suge Knight. Lloyd Banks, on the other hand, when 50 Cent, his mogul, tells him, you need to be on IG posting pictures with these slick ass punchlines, he says, nah, Biggie and Pac wouldn't do that. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Banks doesn't listen. Being shy is such a horrible trait to have as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And there are certain rappers that are shy, but they can get away with it. You, Banks, you can't. Fabulous can. Fabalous. He is really shy. You ever met him in person? He is mad shy, but he can get away with it. The ladies love him. He's got singles. I just literally heard Breathe on the radio the other day, and it's 2023. Share this video one time. Share this video with at least one friend if you're a real one. I heard Breathe on the radio. When did that song come out? I make it hard to. When did that song come out? I'm like, what year is this? It's amazing, man. I don't know the last time I heard On Fire on the radio. I'm sorry. I don't know. I haven't heard it. The record doesn't have any nostalgic feel to it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that feel that the Fabulous records bring to us. You act like you know what Pac and Big would have did, Banks. Banks, what are you? What are you, Nostradamus? I'm not talking about Nas. Banks thinks he's the real Nostradamus. Like he can see the future. How do you know if Big and Pac hadn't passed that they wouldn't have been on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat? I mean, honestly, maybe you're right. Maybe Big and Pac would have said Instagram is whack. You know what I mean? Maybe they would have said Instagram is whack. Snapchat is the new wave. Go download Snapchat. Download the Snapchat app if you want to follow Tupac Shakur. How do you know, Banks? How do you know, Banks? They were trendsetters. Tupac was modeling Gianni Versace. What rappers out there were doing that? Oh, nah, that's sus. He was in a hot tub full of roses. Okay, Banks, you're not even wearing your G-Unit sneakers. You're not even promoting your own brand. The G-Unit sneaker, G-Unit clothing. You, Banks, you're wearing Air Force Ones. Take them shits off. G-Unit sneakers are in stores, you idiot. 50 Cent said something along those lines. What are you wearing these crispy Air Force Ones for? Hello, we are in a active competition with the S. Carter tennis shoes. Why are you wearing Air Force Ones? Banks, where is your business sense? Come on. Why does 50 Cent have to tell you some of the most basic ass bullshit? Are you stupid or dumb? Which one? I don't understand how you think you know. I just don't get how you think you know. Did you know Biggie Smalls personally? Maybe you know Violetta Wallace. Maybe you guys go way back. Maybe you know something I don't know. Maybe he's like, nah, Big told me he wouldn't do that shit. Well, Banks, Instagram wasn't even out. So Biggie couldn't have even told you that. And you definitely didn't know Pac. Tupac would have met you and said, this guy is a pushover. Look at Tupac's friends. Look at them. Analyze them. They're named after war dictators. Idi Amin, Napoleon, Castro, Gaddafi. I could name more, but you get my point. My point is look at Pac's friends. Respectfully, you wouldn't have been Pac's friend. Pac's friends were some live wires. You hear what I'm saying? Pac's friends were live wires from New Jersey. They weren't, as you said, on the porch watching what was going down in the streets. They were literally, well, that's actually what 50 said about you. They were holding Pac down with hammers, man, having face offs with the Bravehearts and Jungle in the middle of Times Square. I don't recall you ever doing that for 50 Cent, but that's cool. That wasn't your role. That right there, that was Smurf's role. Your job was just to rap. We get it. So don't put this whole I'm too cool for Instagram type of vibe out there. And don't talk about what Pac or Big wouldn't have did. You know what I'm saying? Because again, Tupac made a movie called Poetic Justice. Pac made a movie called Poetic Justice. I want to ask you something. Do you think he cared if you thought he was soft? Banks, you know what? You know what you should have said? You know what you would have said if they asked you to be in Poetic Justice, Banks? You know what you would have said? No, that's a love movie. That's soft. You would have said something along the lines of, let's wait for Menace to Society 2 or Belly 2 or some stupid shit like that because you're not confident, Banks. But, anyways, 50 responded to what Banks said. 50 replied to Banks, they're dead, my man. I told him they died before this stuff was even invented. And how do you know they wouldn't be posted on IG if they were alive? One second. Let me light this shit up. How do you know if they wouldn't be posted on IG if they were alive? You know, like I just said, 50 is basically saying what I'm saying. 50 is basically saying what I'm saying, you guys. Banks, can you tell me the lotto numbers, bro? You're like Nostradamus. When is the next catastrophe going to happen? You obviously can predict the future. You say these statements to somebody that is smarter than you, like 50 Cent. So, what exactly is it that you know that we don't? You know, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say the typical shit that every rapper says. I'm too cool to be doing that shit, yo. Okay, so you're too cool to be doing that stuff? Banks, you remind me of them dudes who are fresh out. Not fresh out. I'm talking about fresh out of their mother's pussy, Banks. But fresh out. I'm not talking. Banks, you got me on another one here, man. I mean, like a dude who's fresh out, like you did 30 years in jail. Not freshly born. You'd like a dude who's fresh out, like you just did 30 consecutive years. And you just came home, like, yo, what's up? What's up, yo? I just hit the streets. I'm home now. Can I get a beeper? What's that? What you give me? A Motorola Star Trek flip phone? Nah, get me a beeper. Yo, I'm telling you, we're on these Nextels. We're chirping each other. I don't know what none of that shit is about. Get me a beeper. Because when I went in, Beepers were popping. And I'm home now and I want a beeper. Banks is one of them types of dudes. And shout out to whoever had the Motorola StarTech or the Nextel Chirper as well. You are a real one. Hit the like button for yourself. Don't hit the like button for me. Not for me. Do it for yourself. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably had a Blackberry. But I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it there. You probably had a Blackberry if you don't know what I'm talking about. But listen, my point is, I say that to say this. Banks is one of those dudes who refuses to keep up with the times. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to adapt to the pace of the world. He wants to live life at his own pace. Um, and guys, for anybody asking me about this, you guys should probably know when this type of news came out, I wasn't blogging like this. So I'm going to be reporting on all this news that I never reported on from back in the day. And I don't find anything wrong with that. I can honestly go back and react to whatever piece of information from back in the day that I want to react to. Why? Because I lived through it, y'all. So I'm going to come on here and I'm going to speak about it. So please miss me with that shit. If you want to see my new content, go to my page and watch the new content. But I'm speaking my shit right now because hope you guys like that analogy about the beepers. And if you had one of them Nextel chirps, man, you was a G. You know what I mean? Anyways, he doesn't want to adapt to the pace of the world. He wants to live life at his own pace. That's cool if you make it to the real superstar level. Not if you sell half the amount of records that your OG sold. You didn't outshine nobody. You're in line to be a soldier. He doesn't want to adapt. You know what I mean? You want to know what would have been crazy? You want to know what would have been crazy? I bet you if 50 told Banks, open up a MySpace, Banks would have said, yo, MySpace is lit. MySpace is lit. I heard about MySpace. I'm going to fuck with MySpace. Guys, I just said MySpace. Y'all, Banks is the type of dude who would come home like, yo, 30 years, come home after 30 years or however long. I've been locked up for 30 years. I got to make a new MySpace. I forgot my password. Banks is the type of person they would have been looking at like, yo, Banks, Facebook is lit now. Nobody is on that shit now. It's all about Facebook. Banks would have been like, nah, I ain't messing with Facebook. I ain't messing with Facebook. I ain't fucking with that. Tupac and Biggie wouldn't have fucked with Facebook. He would have been saying some stupid shit like that, you guys. So 50 said there was a line of thinking that really blew my mind. It suggested that if Tupac was alive, he would still be wearing leather vests and red bandanas tied behind his head, sending girls his beeper number, or Biggie would still be wearing Coogee sweaters and playing Mortal Kombat 2 every night. Jeez. I didn't really Biggie was a Mortal Kombat guy, huh? I'm just messing around. But here's the thing though. People still till today wear leather vests because of Pac. People wear leather outfits because they were inspired by Pac. Red bandanas, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it a buck, 50. He probably still would have been rocking the red bandanas. Not wearing the red bandanas regularly. You know what I'm saying? We all know how Pac wore his bandana. Whoever wore their bandana like that, they was copying Pac. I'm not feeling 50 on this one. You know what I mean? Because I seen the Lobby Boys. They was all just rocking these black leather outfits. They were paying homage to that. Even the new age rappers still pay homage. You know, Mano was inspired by Pac. He will tell you that. Now, moving on to Big 50, Again, this one I agree with you on. The Pac one, not so much. This one, I feel you on. You know what I mean? I feel you on this one. You're right. Biggie wouldn't have been rocking Coogee sweaters. I'll wait. Somebody in the chat tell me why. Somebody, anybody, tell me why. What's up, everybody? Share this video too. Make sure you share this video with one friend. You're not going to get any other blogger keeping it real like this because they don't live this shit like me. They didn't live through this shit like me. That's the fact of it too. So Biggie wouldn't have been rocking Coogee sweaters. Somebody tell me why. Tell me why Biggie wouldn't have been rocking Coogee. Why wouldn't Biggie have been rocking Coogee sweaters anymore? Somebody help me out. You know what? I'll help you. When Big was alive, when he was rocking them, guess where Coogee sweaters was made? Anybody? Guess where Coogee sweaters was made? Anybody? Do you mean to tell me that none of y'all had the official Coogee sweater when Big was actually rocking it? None of y'all actually looked in the back at the tag. You didn't look at the back on the tag. Did y'all buy the fake ones on Canal? Can someone tell me when Big was alive, where was the Coogee sweater made? Italy, France, wrong. Japan, China, wrong. Australia. What? Big was rocking Australian clothes? Guys, it takes a lot of time to make a Coogee sweater. They're not like mass produced garbage. That's the reason they actually cost so much. They cost so much money because they take a lot of man hours to make each sweater. Kind of like iceberg sweaters. Why does that shirt with Mickey Mouse cost $900? I don't get it. It's Mickey Mouse. He's on a shirt. It's not for you to get. You honestly, you probably think it's Looney Tunes. You probably think it's Looney Tunes. Who owns Coogee? Where is Coogee made? Who bought Coogee? Who bought Coogee the brand? Come on, this is the Mikey T the Movie Star podcast. This is what we do here. We educate and we keep it real. If it's too much for you, peace. But if you are enjoying this, subscribe. Super chat, support what I'm doing. I don't get it. It's Mickey Mouse, right? It's $900 a shirt. But let's talk about who owns Coogee. Where is Coogee made today? Who bought Coogee, the brand? What, the Australian sweater maker? What happened? Oh, everyone's quiet now. Come on, I know everyone in my chat gets fresh. Anyways, FUBU. For us, by us. Damon John. The incredibly cheap domestic clothing line. He bought Coogee. It ain't been the same ever since. Damn, Coogee fell off. I ain't rocking Coogee sweaters no more. FUBU bought them. FUBU bought them. I ain't never rocking that shit. So you're right, 50. You are right, 50. Biggie wouldn't have rocked no FUBU. You got that one, 50. But do me a favor. Do me a favor, Fifth. Do me a favor, 50. You shouldn't be giving nobody no type of fashion advice because everybody and their grandmother, their auntie, their baby daddies, their baby mamas, and even the little children know that you 50 can't dress. You don't have that. You don't have that. Oh shit, what is 50 wearing? You know what I mean? You don't have that going on. You don't have that, oh shit, what's 50 wearing tonight type of vibe going on. You never ever had that. You had the, oh, what's 50 Cent wearing type. You know what I mean? You had the, oh, what's 50 wearing tonight type of vibe going on. So please, 50, don't ask hypothetical questions. Do you think Tupac would have had a bandana tied like that? Do you think Biggie would have still rocked Coogee? 50, you would look cool if you rocked Coogee today. So please don't give fashion advice to anybody. You're great at a lot of things, 50, but fashion is not one of them. Now, please, you guys, if 50 gives you fashion advice, this is Mikey T telling you, don't take it. Don't take it. Hear me out. Hear me out. Listen to him. Tell him cool, but please don't take 50's fashion advice. So 50 Cent said, it's ridiculous when Banks made that comment to me. I realized he had gone as far as he can go. This is a very important part. It's ridiculous when Banks made that comment to me. It showed me he could go as far as he can go. 50's reaction to Lloyd Banks telling him like this is like, damn, he's actually being serious right now. Damn, he's like, damn, he's actually being serious right now. He's not cracking a smile. He's not joking and saying, I'm messing with you. I'll try it out. Nothing along those lines. So it's actually clicking in 50's mind like everything I'm telling this dude is going in one ear and out the other. He doesn't see what I'm trying to do for him. 50 Cent was trying to offer 50 Cent was trying to offer Lloyd Banks some advice so he could be ahead of, you know what I mean, everybody else jumping on social media platforms, jumping on Instagram like that so he can have more of a connection with his fan base. The fans that obviously wanted to have a connection with Lloyd Banks. The man sold 400,000 first week, although that was a fraction of what 50 Cent sold himself. You know what I mean? It was half. You know what I mean? He sold half of what 50 Cent did first week. So it's obvious there was a fan base there. But he's not taking 50's advice. You know what I mean? When you have a mogul like that in your in your ear, feeding you advice, piece of advice after piece of advice, it, it finally started to click in 50's mind. Like everything I'm telling this dude, it's in one ear, out the other. He doesn't see what I'm trying to do for him. He's either one, too stupid to understand, or two, too preoccupied or worried about his image of him not looking cool. Now, first of all, your image is what 50 Cent gave you. You know what I mean? Your image, 50 is thinking like your image is the image that I gave you. So I'm going to tell you, like Biggie told Faith, I made you. Why would I play you? That's how 50 Cent was talking to Lloyd Banks. He's like, I made you. Why would I play you? But Banks is looking at it like 50, you're wilding. That shit, meaning Instagram, is for the birds. Instagram, what is that? I'm a street dude. I'm a street dude. I'm too cool for that shit. You're bugging. You mean you want me to type on the computer? Typing on the computer? That's nerd shit. We don't type on computers. That's honestly how Lloyd Banks is looking at it. You know what I mean? Banks is looking at it the same way that Blockbuster was looking at Netflix. Streaming movies? Are you crazy? We rent videotapes. We don't want nothing to do with Netflix. We are Blockbuster. We rent videos. Nobody is going to stream movies on the internet. You guys are bugging. That's how Banks is looking at 50 Cent. How Blockbuster Video, who is now bankrupt, was looking at Netflix. Instead of doing business with them and merging with them, they looked at them and said, "You're bugging. Nobody is going to stream movies online. We're going to stick to our hustle. We're going to keep renting these video cassettes. DVDs, nobody is going to watch no DVDs. The DVDs are not the new wave." That's how ignorant Lloyd Banks sounds, you guys. 50 is looking at it from a business standpoint. Like he's not even open-minded. He's thinking he's so set that nothing I say will even sway him. He's looking at it like how Motorola looked at Steve Jobs. Like, what do you mean a smartphone? You mean you have to tap the screen? That's crazy. Nah. Flip phones is where it's at. Nobody's going to be tapping the screen and touching the screen. We got these flip phones popping, and we don't want to do business with you, Steve Jobs. When someone thinks they're smart, but doesn't realize there is someone smarter giving them advice, it's like the smart dumbass, you know? You're one of them smart, dumb motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like Hassan Campbell. He swears he is kicking knowledge, but he's a dumb motherfucker who occasionally says something smart. So 50 went on. 50 actually went on. He said, "In fact, my exact thought was, this is someone I can't invest another minute or dollar in." When 50 Cent says that shit about you, you know it's a wrap. If he can't, never mind him investing a dollar. When he says, "I can't invest another minute in you," that means all the opportunities that he was giving you drying up now. That means him dropping this gem on you about Instagram. That means him having a conversation with Eminem about your new album coming out, like how you guys had a conversation about Hunger for More too. And Eminem, 50 Cent told Eminem about that. 50 Cent was your ear. You know what I mean? 50 Cent was the guy running around doing all this shit for you. How are you going to turn down anything? How are you going to turn down anything that man gives you? You know what I mean? This guy's possibly, you would have made multi-millions of dollars on your Instagram account based on 50 Cent. Shout out to Atlantic City. Shout out to Atlantic City. Much love to Atlantic City in the building. Let me know what city you're up in, what city you're from if you're up in here. Don't be hating on my radio voice. You're about to hear me on the radio and shit like that, man. Don't be hating on my radio voice. They tell me every day, "Mikey T, we heard you on the podcast last night, man. You got that radio voice." I'm like, "Oh shit, word. Thank you." I'm humble, man. I'm humble when it comes to that shit, man. You know what I mean? I always look at myself like I'm in the same position that I was in from day one. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, whoever's in here, hit that like button. Let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. So 50 said, "My exact thought was, this is someone I can't invest another minute or dollar in." You know, you had the opportunity to be around 50 Cent literally every single day of the week. You had the opportunity to talk to 50 Cent every single day of the week. Now, when a man decides he doesn't want to invest another minute in you, that means all those opportunities you had are now going to be blown. Well, that's another conversation, bro. Shout out to Philly. Philly's up in here. Much love to Philly. Salute to you, my brother Ron. Appreciate you tapping in, G's. But yeah, bro. He did not see the big picture. He was like Shab Money. Shab Money actually made a much worse decision than Lloyd Banks, because Shab Money actually got an opportunity to be immortalized within the within the album Get Rich or Die Trying, and he opted to get $30,000. I might have to cover that in another story. Like I said, there's a lot of old topics that I never got to touch on that I'm going to touch on. You know what I mean? There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There was a lot of shit going on before we had the ability to go live and report like this. And I am going to cover that and give my thoughts on all that shit because I do feel like this is important information. You know what I mean? Right here, we're getting the idea of why Lloyd Banks's career did not get furthered. 50 Cent is here giving him all these gems. You know what I mean? I think it's time to roll something up, but I'm more focused on the stream. Let's do the stream. I ain't worried about that other shit. So 50 is saying he doesn't want to invest another dollar in Lloyd Banks. And guys, at this point, it's like, why should he? We've had Beg for Mercy out. We've had Hunger for More out. You know what I mean? We've had Banks actually featured on Get Rich or Die Trying. You know what I'm saying? He was featured on Get Rich or Die Trying. He actually had a star-studded lineup on the Hunger for More. He had a star-studded lineup on the Hunger for More, you guys. It really just doesn't make any sense to put more marketing dollars into him. The man has already, been invested in. He's working with Snoop Dogg. He's working with Nate Dogg. Like I said, after his album came out, he should have been able to go out there and get whatever manager or whatever publicist he wanted. But they were so stuck on Sha Money XL being their manager. Are you kidding me right now? You are stuck. You are a new emerging artist who is just getting all the attention. Buck selling 260K, Bank selling 400,000, Game selling 500,000, and you want to stay with this same manager? No disrespect to Sha Money in this regard, but you want to stay with the same manager who you were cutting records in his basement? I understand loyalty. That man's the G Unit president. He was the G Unit president at one point in time. But you have got to do what is best for your career. You at that point were an A-list celebrity. You know what I mean? You were an A-list celebrity. You should have had an A-list publicist. Sha Money XL was only relevant because of 50 Cent's success. You know what I'm saying? Go look at the other shit that he did. Go look at the other shit that he did when he went to Epic Records. He didn't even bring Banks over to Epic Records. Even though there was major rumor that Banks was going to go over to Def Jam. I bet you somebody said to Banks, "Yo, Banks, create a podcast," and Banks was like, "Nah, man, Big and Big and Big and Pac wouldn't have created a podcast." That's some bullshit ass logic. So 50 is saying he doesn't want to invest another dollar in Lloyd Banks, and why should he? Here's my question to y'all: if y'all think 50 is hating on Lloyd Banks, if you guys think 50 Cent is grimy, if you think 50 Cent is foul, for y'all, all y'all dudes saying that shit like that, saying stuff like, oh, Jim Jones is grimy. He doesn't want to invest more money in Max B. Why should he? The same thing with 50 Cent. Why should he invest more money in Lloyd Banks? He already did that. Do you know what his investment got him? Do you want to know what his investment got him? 400K first week. How much of a dent do you think Lloyd Banks' 400K in a week makes when 50 is going multi-platinum, when Eminem is there, when Dr. Dre is there? Lloyd Banks, meh. Interscope obviously called it lackluster sales. The point is, why should I keep investing in someone that doesn't invest in themselves? As I brought up earlier, when 50 Cent distanced himself from Sha Money, he apparently told the guys from G Unit, it's time to go find new management. This is the point in their career where they could have found any management that they wanted. And they wanted, you know what I mean? They wanted to show their loyalty to Sha Money by keeping him with the job. They wanted to show the loyalty by keeping Sha Money with the job, in my opinion. That's what they were trying to do. But it's like, yo, the man is gonna have a job without you guys. You are jeopardizing your career now by staying with him as a manager because he can't even do the things as a manager. 50 Cent, when he got on, it wasn't Sha Money as his damn manager. Believe that. So, anyways, and then like, why would I invest in someone that doesn't even invest in themselves? Someone that doesn't even invest in themselves. If you look at Banks' first album, I don't even need to bring it up. What features did Lloyd Banks really probably go out there and get by himself? The features are all Interscope in-house features. Snoop, Nate Dogg, Eminem. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I understand 50 Cent was probably executive producing his project, but what extra mile did Lloyd Banks really go to promote his shit outside of the obvious mixtapes? I mean, I'm not saying he's not the PLK. I'm not saying he doesn't have thousands of clever bars. 50 even told him that. He said, "Take your bars and make them your Instagram quotes, dumbass." He's like, "I don't know what I would say on Instagram. Take one of your hot ass bars. That's all anybody does. Period. That's all they do. They just take a hot ass bar and they put that shit online." Lloyd Banks is trash anyways. Nah, I don't agree with that. I'm not Lloyd Banks is not trash. There is no, and I'm about to get into that in a second right here. I'm about to get into that in a second right here. Because you know, there's a lot of talk, man. There's a lot of talk. Let me see. Let me see. And I want to address it. I want to give my thoughts on it. So, Lloyd Banks sells half of what 50 Cent sold his first week. And Banks was pretty much 50 Cent's right hand man. And he sold half. So that's another part of my argument. He should be right up there with 50. Because in all honesty, Banks is nicer than 50. You can rap better than him. Come on. Everyone knows that. It ain't no secret. You should be on a higher level than 50 Cent. I mean, Memphis Bleak, shout out to Memphis Bleak. That's my guy. But Memphis Bleak isn't better than Jay-Z. Do you see my point? So people are shocked when Banks only sold that much. You know what I mean? And then 2 years later, the Rotten Apple drops and he sells like 150K first week. Key word, you guys. 2 years later. So you mean to tell me you thought 50 was going to promote you for 2 years? Do your marketing and all your advertising for 2 years while you were doing what? What were you doing? Perfecting Detox with Dr. Dre? Why did it take you 2 years? You know what I mean? Why did it take you 2 years to drop another album? What are you, Nas? Like, come on. It's unacceptable. And when I mentioned what was 50 supposed to be doing for 2 years, because when an artist is getting ready for albums, he's got to keep some sort of a consistency. You know what I mean? So in 50 did quite a bit for him, just to be real. But like he told him, he said, you got to go find a new manager. You got to find a new manager, someone who's going to do all that key shit for you, man. So 2004, Banks drops his album, like July, late July, just about August. What comes out after that? Banks doesn't do nothing after that, but he has a bunch of videos. He drops the Karma video, On Fire, I'm So Fly. He drops all those videos. So literally, so we got August, September, October, November, December, January, and then the game drops. Banks is not featured on the Games album in '05. Banks was not featured on the Massacre either, unless you say the bonus cut, Hate It or Love It. So he had that one feature on Hate It or Love It in March of 2005. Then he was on He was on I Know You Don't Love Me, the probably in September of '05 from Tony Yayo, and then he also was featured on the Get Rich or Die Tryin' soundtrack in November of 2005. But no video. He just had that one song on there called, I think it was, what was it called, you guys? What was his song on the Get Rich or Die Tryin' soundtrack called? I forgot what it was called off the top of my head. It wasn't the My House record. That was somewhere else. So yeah, so then after that, so that's literally, so then he had so that's 2005, 2005, then 2006, right? We literally got like the whole year because this album dropped in October. So that's the 10th month. He was featured on Mobb Deep's album though. He was featured on Mobb Deep's album. So I'll give him that. You know what I mean? He was featured on Mobb Deep's album in May. Then his album dropped in October. And they also put out the single with Olivia called Twist It. They also put out the single with Olivia called Twist It that did not yield an album. No album came out off of that single, you guys. I dropped this video the other day. Y'all need to go check it out. Rizzy basically spoke on J Hood buying a fake D blockchain. Shit is crazy. Y'all need to go check that shit out. But I definitely appreciate everybody tapping in on this live video tonight. What was the name of that song that Lloyd Banks did on the Get Rich or Die Tryin' soundtrack? Somebody remind me. It was called Get Low. Yeah, it was called Get Low, actually. They say that was supposed to be the lead single of. They say that was supposed to be the lead single of The Big Withdraw. But if that was going to be the lead single of The Big Withdraw, I think that was going to leave a lot to be, a lot to be wanted. Honestly, The Big Withdraw. Damn. The Big Withdraw, honestly, with that single, would have been underwhelming. That was not a good follow-up to On Fire. But as I said before, On Fire really isn't a record that has stood the test of time. Unlike fabulous records like Breathe, you know what I mean? Records that honestly are going to be remembered for quite a while. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just heard Breathe on the radio yesterday. I can't tell you when the last time I heard a Lloyd Banks song on the radio was. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody tuning into the video tonight, man. I went in on this joint. I'm going to do some open questions now if anybody has any questions. But some people tuning in a little bit late, you might be seeing some parts of the video. You might be seeing some other parts of the video right now and not have got the full understanding of what I'm doing. Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. Yeah, dope single. But that was in 2010. That came many years later, man. I was only doing the history up to 2006 October when his album dropped. He had a few singles on the album, man. You know what I mean? He had a few singles on the album. He had Hands Up. He had the video, the I think it was more of a DVD site video for Cake. And what else did he have on that one? He had Help with Carrie Hilson. But that really didn't do much, you guys. Help with Carrie Hilson really didn't do much. Banks catalog over 50s? No, that is inaccurate, bro. Banks's catalog is not going to go over 50s. First of all, Banks only has 3 official albums. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that because, I mean, we obviously all know about HFM1, HFM2, The Rotten Apple, Course of the Inevitable 1, Course of the Inevitable 2. So he's got 5 albums. 50 has 5 albums too. But I'm not giving that to Banks over 50, man. Even though some people are really trying to make a stand for 50 Cent's Curtis album right now, trying to say that it's good. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that, man. I'm not a big fan of the Curtis album. I feel like it's probably the worst G Unit release out there. But I'm about to roll up, you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the episode tonight. Hope y'all enjoyed the podcast tonight. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now. Make sure tomorrow throughout your day, you tell at least one friend about Mikey T, the movie star. Let's get it, y'all. Check out some of my interviews as well. I'm always working.